My name is Dan Holtzer. I'm with St. Peter's Lutheran Church in Ocean City, Maryland. To start out with, we had some roof problems. We had some leakage and holes in our sanctuary area where there was water coming in. I called 3 different vendors to come out and give me a quote. The quotes all ballpark between 40 and 50K. So we said, okay, we got to raise some money and get that done. So I put out a letter and told the congregation what we were looking for, what we needed to do, and what we needed to spend. And on a Wednesday evening service that we had last fall, this lady came in and read my letter and looked at it. And she came to me and said, hey, my son does this. Maybe he can give you a better deal. And I said, okay, thank you very much. Turned out to be Justin's mother from Economy Restoration. Lovely lady, and I said, sure, I'll take another quote. So I asked Justin to come down. We set up a time, went up on the roof, looked all over, and he said, well, Mr. Dan, he said, it's not just the sanctuary roof, it's the whole roof that needs to be replaced. There's holes all over the place, bad tiles and shingles, etc. He said, OMG, that's just not good. So our original quote of 40 to 50K suddenly turned into over $400,000. At which point we call our insurance company, and we had a deductible of $53,000, which I was well on the way of already collecting, so away we went and awarded the contract to Economy Restoration. And then all the pieces started to fall into place. Well, our building is also home to well over 300 solar panels. And the best part of this project was we didn't have to get too involved in dealing with all the little pieces. Economy Restoration acted as the prime contractor. They contacted the solar people. They actually paid the solar people and took care of coordinating the panels coming off and going back on, storing the panels where they could be stored, et cetera, et cetera. And Economy Restoration took care of the rest. Throughout the project, we were in constant contact, constant coordination. They came in and first thing, of course, they needed to put on a new roof. And then once we got the new roof on, then they had to go through the building and all the multiple places where that we had seen leakage in the past. They either fixed the ceiling and painted, or they just replaced ceiling tiles where there was obvious water damage came in the ceiling tiles. During the roof installation, one of the great parts of that conversation was Justin came back to me after we had talked about a color and what kind of tile we wanted to put, the kind of shingle we wanted to put on the roof. Justin came back and he said, Mr. Dan, we got a problem because of the steep pitch on our sanctuary. The shingle that was decided upon might not be as good an option because of the slope. Might not hold as well on that slope. So we coordinated and at that point selected a new manufacturer a different manufacturer for the shingles, and on we went. Included in the project, we're very close to a next door neighbor over here, a company that has rental suites, etc. And we needed to coordinate with them to provide for the removal of the shingles on that side of the building that was going to interfere with their parking lot. That coordination again went very, very smoothly. We were able to get the truck in there, get the shingles off that needed to come off on that side, and get out and cause no damage, which they were very keen to because their parking lot had just been repaved and the building is new as well. So that part of the project went quite smoothly. The roof was done. The solar panels went back on, and then we commenced to tackling the inside of the building. The sanctuary was the biggest room. There were several holes in the ceiling where the water had come through, and we had to cut out and try to repair those areas. We actually had some auxiliary speakers hanging from the ceiling that were no longer in use. The Economy Restoration painters took those down and took them away like they were never there. You couldn't tell where they'd been hanging before. The ceilings were all repaired, and the entire sanctuary was painted, top to bottom, the top being 32 feet up. What do we do about 32 feet up? You know, my background tells me, I don't know, maybe scaffolding or what have you. The initial response was, well, we can bring a scissors lift in and get it through the doors, which we could, and get it in here. Problem is, behind me, the altar sits on a wooden floor, which would never hold the weight of the scissors lift, and that kind of scratched that idea. So from there, we went to scaffolding and ladders, which, you know, that was the painter's call, and they were able to do it. And like I said, they painted everything up, papered off and taped off, if you will. All the lighting in here, all the hanging fixtures in here were covered up, and then they went through and painted it all. We have a lovely $75,000 pipe organ here, and they were able to totally protect the pipes and cover all that. So we never had an issue with that as well. One of the most fascinating things to me was watching the paint crew, three-man crew, come in here and disconnect all these pews that are in here one side at a time, disconnect them all, slide them all over, get up, do the painting, slide them all back and put them back in, and did that on both sides of the sanctuary. That was impressive to watch. Impressive to watch. Today, you look at it, you couldn't tell they were taken apart. It just doesn't show. That was wonderful. We went on from here. There was ceiling damage in the kitchen. That was taken out and repaired. Our kitchen provides, today is Wednesday. Today there's a crew in there cooking soup. We provide free meals for anybody that wants to come in here on Wednesday, every Wednesday throughout the year. And we had to coordinate the repair and painting of that kitchen ceiling around this Wednesday meal time, which obviously is not just a Wednesday. It's a Wednesday, it's a Tuesday prep, that kind of thing. And of course, not working on the weekend when we have services and people in here. So all that was taken care of. During the time of the sanctuary repairs and paint, which was a couple of weeks, we did our services. All our services were conducted in the Community Life Center, which is down the hall here. Easy peasy. Everybody felt like they were part of the project because they were sitting in the sanctuary, in the Community Life Center, and all excited about their new sanctuary, which turned out to be fantastic. We had additional marks and damages in various rooms throughout the building. Some of it was no more than a ceiling tile that needed to be replaced. Others, we painted the entire hallway where there was marks and water marks coming down. All that had been painted, repaired and painted where necessary. Even out to the back of the building where we have what we call the retreat center, there's a large area back there with bunk beds that we have. We use it during the summer for groups to come in and have retreats here. So there's like a 30-bed unit back there. They can bring in groups. We bring in groups from all over the country, as far away as Ohio and up and down the mid-Atlantic. Groups come in, and it could be a women's group, could be a men's group, could be teens, various groups. We offer them a very, very significant discount rate to stay there during the summer. And anyway, that space was repaired. There was ceiling tiles and things in there that needed to be fixed. That was done. And that retreat center also serves as the primary homeless shelter in the wintertime for Ocean City. So it's very important that the place is clean, pretty, and refreshed, which it was. So that worked out very well. Throughout the rest of the building, there was another room on the side over here, room 3A. That was totally painted. That needed to be done as well. There was leakage in that part of the roof. A lot of this project showed up when we did inspections of the building to see where we needed to go, we uncovered leaks that we didn't even know were there in the first place. So it was a great project. I appreciate Economy Restoration. I can't tell you how good it was to have these guys come in and just take hold and be part of the unit. It was wonderful. Well, it appeared to me, and having been I worked in construction business and installation business in the past, it appeared to me their presentation of professionalism and quality of what they were doing and interest in me understanding what they were going to do was very important. They showed me things that the other vendors didn't even bother to show me. One of the things I discovered was Justin went up. The roofer that we had, we didn't even get a quote from them. The roofer that we had previously come in and try to fix things had tried to repair some shingles. Justin advised me, and his guys backed him up, that the shingle that they tried to put on there was the wrong size in the first place. And beyond that, when they tried to install it, they installed it with these tiny little white finishing nails, which was insane, right? What? Anybody, why would you do that? You know, not a roofing thing, you know. And so the other guys were kind of haphazard about it. They weren't really excited about providing the service that was needed. I should also mention that Justin was thoroughly engaged, took care of the project as far as we needed permitting and inspections. St. Peter's personnel, me, never got engaged in that. I didn't have to worry about that. He took care of the city, took care of the permits, took care of the inspection, post-installation. It was smooth and clean, and I never even actually saw it. I knew it happened. I saw the paperwork, but I didn't have to do it. Our church is insured by Church Mutual, and through Church Mutual, we have a $5.3 million policy on this property because it is prime property. I should mention that St. Peter's is 1 block away from the beach, so coastal winds, coastal storms, et cetera, we're very common. We're aware of that, and we pay the price. The other part of the Church Mutual insurance policy is our deductible is $53,000, right? And Justin coordinated directly with our representative from Church Mutual and made sure that the payments were done right, everything was handled properly. And we also have a mortgage on this church, Mission Investment Fund, which is a Lutheran national institution, holds our mortgage. So when Church Mutual cuts a check to pay the roofer, the check comes to me for St. Peter's to sign it, but it also has to go to Mission Investment Fund for them to co-sign it. And Justin was fine with all that because I had to FedEx a check up to Minnesota to have it signed and FedEx back to me so I could countersign it, get it deposited, and then pay Economy Restoration for the project. And that came in multiple steps. It didn't get all paid at once because, as most insurance companies, they held out a significant piece of cash till the project was finished and over with. In the meantime, Economy Restoration was paying up front and paying out to the solar company and getting them covered, handled. I didn't have to have a conversation with them about getting paid. All I did was have a conversation with them about where to store the panels in the meantime. So that worked out wonderful. Economy Restoration had to deal with the solar panels as they came off because, you know, as their typical project would be, they'd take off the solar panels, take off the framing, and they want to pull out the stakes, the bases that are in the roof. And Economy Restoration said, "Hold, wait a minute. Let us pull those out because if you pull them out of the roof, now there's a hole in the roof." So they waited until the Economy Restoration could pull those bases out as they were putting in the new roof. Initially, when we contacted Church Mutual, before the project, our insurance company, before the project was to kick off, they hired an independent adjuster to come in. A young man came in from New Jersey. Economy Restoration met him here at the site, took him up on the roof. The both of them went up on the roof. They did drone footage on the roof. And Justin walked this adjuster all over the roof, showed him all the various parts and pieces, places where there was broken or, rotted shingles or what have you, all over the place. And Justin even talked to the adjuster and said, hey, we're using the same software. I could help you put the project together, put the bid process together if you want. No, I got it. I can take care of it. Thank you very much. I don't want to do that. Okay. And off he went. He told, the adjuster informed me that it would be about a week and then he would have his package back to the Church Mutual office. Okay, we got another week. In the meantime, every time it rained, we got leaks in the roof, Said, okay. So he goes away, and to this day, nobody knows what happened to him. He disappeared, couldn't be contacted. Church Mutual couldn't contact him. We couldn't contact him. And that went on for a couple extra weeks. And finally I said, hey, we can't sit around waiting for you to find out where this guy in New Jersey disappeared. We got to get moving. Church Mutual brought in another adjuster. And again, Economy Restoration met him here on site, helped him walk the whole building and outside and inside, because we had to show him all the inside damage as well. Both those adjusters, we showed all the inside damage as well, and walked through all that, and then he was able to provide us with the quote, with the adjustment estimate to Church Mutual, and then we were able to proceed. And Church Mutual and Economy Restoration, independent of me, had discussions and came to an agreement on the price of the repairs. I was not engaged in that project, which was good for me. I didn't need to be involved in that. They both needed to be happy, and apparently they are. So, and I'm very happy. Yeah, I got a painted, clean, watertight building, I hope. Yeah, indeed. If I was to rate this, and I do this kind of rating all the time, if I was going to rate this from a 1 to a 10, I'd give them an 11, because they went above and beyond, literally above and beyond. They brought things to my attention if I didn't think about it, and showed me pieces in here. Like I said, they showed me pieces in here that we didn't even know were broken or leaking, and they fixed it. They jumped on it and fixed it. They did some painting in the bathrooms. We didn't even think about it. And I'm like, really? This is wonderful. Thank you very much. They took ownership of the project. They owned it from day one to now. And I'd recommend them to anybody. I think they're fantastic.